Jamie, you, due to the nature of your good looks and due to the nature of your online presence, you get your fair share or more than your fair share of creeps who petition you for things that you don't, that are out of your pay grade. That's kind of unfortunately the norm. Since the last event, it has the frequency of people, fans, Johns, guys hitting you up for, favors beyond that has increased dramatically. And it gets a little bit worse every day. You get people petitioning you a little more frequently every day. And the dialogue is just kind of along the same lines of, hey, I'm a big fan of your work, a big admirer. You're so beautiful. I know this isn't like the kind of thing that you usually do, but I've had this vacation planned. I've had this bachelor party planned. I've had it for ages, and I can't book anybody. And in the first few weeks, after the collapse of the Sabat Cavern, it was, I can't book anybody who's your type. I can't book anybody who looks like you. They're shaped wrong. Their face is wrong, But now, in the past couple of weeks, they're saying, I'm so sorry to hit you up for this, but there's just literally nobody available in the Las Vegas area. And, and we figured we'd try. We love you to death. That sort of thing. And your inbox is full. In the past couple of weeks, it has been rampant. As for you, Estelle, you're killing it academically. School is going great. Your grades are fantastic, as per the usual. You get up for school one morning, regular day, you make your regular commute, and on your commute, Leah comes to the car. Your next door neighbor. She comes in for the commute and says, hey, Roz, good morning. And she's just kind of exuberant. And she says, hey, I got something to show you. She reaches into her purse and she pulls out a brochure. And just in a very fun, mirthful manner, she says, hey, check it out. You didn't tell me that you had a twin. And she pulls out a brochure for the Real Bodies exhibit. I am going to, Estelle, that is the cover for the Real Bodies exhibit that has recently come to Vegas. You know this woman. When Leah shows you that brochure, the circuitry of your brain, it freezes completely. It's locked in place. Like the world stops, time stops. Crevices in your brain that have been asleep, dormant, that you weren't even aware that you had, they fire to life. They sputter like a supernova. Just white-hot electrical pain throughout. You know that you are inextricably connected to the woman in this picture. It is, you have a connection. It's very deep. It's incredibly strong. It's built into the foundation of the first memories of your life, but you have no memories connecting it to. And it is an excruciating feeling for you psychically. It is like phantom limb pain, where the limb has been removed, but the nerves that attach to it are still attached to the brain. And those nerves are firing off. They know that they are supposed to be attached to something. They know something is supposed to be there at the end of that nerve ending, but there's nothing. They are supposed to be receiving impulses. They're supposed to be giving impulses, but there's nothing there. And it fries the circuitry, and the pain can be extraordinary. This is like a phantom limb pain for your psyche when you see her. You can remember the sound of her voice, but you can't remember a thing she's ever said. You can remember the way that her eyes crinkled when she smiled, but you can't remember what it was that made her smile anytime, at any age. Because you remember her as a child, as a teenager, and as a young woman, where you have the connection to her. But there's no memories, no recollection. Whatever is going on your face, in your demeanor, Leah can see that she has fucked up badly, and she puts the picture away. Oh God, shit. I'm sorry. That was. Sorry. That was really insensitive. I'm sorry. I thought it was like a joke. And are you okay? I'm so fucking sorry. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have even.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not your fault. You didn't know.
God. Rosie, I'm sorry. Are you all right? Shit, I feel so fucking stupid. Are you all right? I'm so...
I will be all right.
I'm sorry. That was really tasteless. I just,
No, It's okay, Liam. I promise it's okay.
She says nothing for the rest of the commute. She's very obviously embarrassed. She very obviously feels absolutely terrible.
Can I see that again?
Yeah. Yeah. And she pulls it out of her purse. It is a brochure for the Real Bodies exhibit at the Horseshoe Casino. Promoting new exhibits, new features, an exciting new experience for the whole family in celebration and reverence of the human body, its structure, and its capabilities. There are others. There are other pictures, there are other exhibits, other models, other bodies. You do not feel any connection to them the way that you connected to this one. This one is on the front page.
Estelle takes a wipe from her bag and sort of gently dots her eyes and continues looking at it.
Oh, Rob.
It is uncanny.
I'm sorry. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I should have... I know you're a super empathetic person.
There's no way you could have that. I would react like that.
I mean, it's kind of like a tasteless thing. Like, I know what it is, but I'm fucking sorry, Roz. And she is quiet and remorseful. And for at least a week afterwards, she doesn't bring it up again. She does let you keep the brochure.
Estelle will try to mend that gap in time with a kind gesture here or there, a reassurance, a gentle nudge of affection, whatever form that takes.
And so, Jamie, you have that info, and we will head back to the safe house. Life has been good. Darlene has been adjusting. You guys get a text. It is a mass text to whatever contact information that you gave to your SI agent the last time around. Reading out.
It pipes through an old phone that Stray just has like hanging from a wire by the desk.
It pipes in a message. It says, "Good morning. Our newest PTA Council delegate has completed orientation. We would like to have you and the rest of the volunteer coordinators on your committee out this Wednesday to introduce yourselves and show her the ropes. If there are any accommodations you'd like us to make to reassure you that our intentions for this meeting are entirely in good faith, please do not hesitate to contact us." And below this message, you see a QR code.
Stray's in the safe house. Probably, if he's not sleeping, he's probably playing with Panna, if nothing else. He's got like a handful of goldfish cards. Actually, no. Stray is losing horribly at Uno. Like, Stray has a hand of like 16 cards, and Panda's down to like 3.
I love that.
How are you so good at this game, kid?
I don't know. I haven't played it before.
Darlene and Lacey are off around the safe house playing Marco Polo.
So, new event coordinator, eh? And Stray like checks the text and then turns back to the game. Sounds like the org finally got their heads out of their asses long enough to send another one our way.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous, given they're a member of the orgs, but...
Yeah. I mean, the orgs are so pushed out of the city that... Hey, you know what? Everyone we've seen so far, they've been on their best behavior. They know they can't afford to lose us. That's good. The only problem is the more we help them, the bigger a foothold they'll have in this city, and the more of a foot they'll want to have up our ass at the same time, I'm sure.
That's true. I mean, at the very least, the more of them there are, that means we've got more people fighting against the leeches, but...
Maybe we can have another London one day.
I hope.
I should really check on what's going on in London, actually. I haven't looked in on that side of the world for a while. I mean, British people, though.
British people.
Stray is going to go to the hardline phone, and he'll text Jamie, and he'll just say, just text from a random number. This is confirming you received the new notice about the Cat Cafe. You want to drop by sometime soon to meet one of our adorable strays we picked up?
So, Jamie sees Stray Cat's message, visit audit like gags. They're opening their phone expecting like some sort of like dick pic or nude to be unsolicited to them, and so they see a message from Stray Cat, and like there's that off level of shock, but the gag reflex is already built up, so it just goes out anyway.
Jamie has been non-stop solicited for illicit favors for weeks now. Like, he gets a message from Stray and he's like, ugh, the worst.
Oh no. Poor Jamie.
Yeah, so Jamie says, we'll text back that they will stop by, that they've just got to take care of one little thing first and they'll be over. Which, what they're taking care of is stopping by, like, a little phone outlet store, buying another burner, and then immediately taking their current phone and breaking it in half and chucking it into the storm drains.
Excellent.
And then they'll make their way to the safe house.
As soon as Jamie arrives, Stray is lounging in his hammock again. He does not have a pina colada this time. He's just kind of lounging 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He has lost the Uno game. There's just a pile of cards that is the entire deck somehow on his side, and like Panda's finally won.
And Lacey
so,
says,
did you get the tech?
Gas! And Darlene is like, oh my god, Gas, are you here? Hey, it's Gas. Lacey, it's Gaslight actually here. Yeah, Gaslight's actually here. And Darlene was like, could you like say something, you dick? Like, I'm happy that you're here. Could you let me know that?
Well, you want advance notice? I'm a little busy sometimes.
No, I'd like you to say hi or something, or if you want to give the silent treatment, like check something at my head to let me know that you arrived. It's great to have you here. Do you want me to get you something to drink?
No, I'm fine. I'll be okay.
All right.
Stray waves to Lacey, and then he sort of audibly speaks up for Darlene, and he says, "Can I get you a pina colada?"
Oh, me?
Yeah, I was gonna make one.
I don't know what I'd do with it. And Lacey is like, Mom, don't you want a pina colada? And Darlene's like, I'd love a pina colada. Thank you.
All right. Stray goes, gotcha. He turns to Pan immediately and says, hey, bro, could you go make me 2 pina coladas?
Panna nods, and he gets up to go make them. He doesn't seem bothered by this.
God, I love outsourcing. Stray kicks himself off the hammock and says, did you get the text?
I mean, yeah, I wasn't about to open it in my place. Quite frankly, I'm not about to, like, scan that and go to whatever QR code infects my phone.
Yeah, without fledgling here, I'm pretty technologically minded, but, I mean, I don't want to be the guy who messes up the OPSEC for our tech security.
Did you guys get a text or something? Like...
Stray clears his throat and says, relating to, our business deal with the large provider of our services.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah, they're sending another consultant in to keep an eye on us, I'm sure, and nothing else. No other secondary intentions. Ugh, man, I can't believe I'm working with
if they wind up being built like the last one,
I'm not complaining. But Stray cracks like all the bones in his body somehow, like in just one big full body stretch. He just goes, listen, I think it's smart that we keep in the good graces of those who have the power. I just think we want to be a little more cautious this time around. Former asset knew everything about us, and we let them in on a lot. But we keep to our lane, they keep to theirs. I don't know, maybe this one will end up being like the last. But I'll be shocked if they even have a creed.
I've got some physical therapy exercises for you to do when this is all said and done. Dan.
Straight almost cracks a joke about, like, physical therapy isn't going to help me when I'm a corpse when this is done, and then he realizes Lacey's in the room, and he just goes, yeah, well, physical therapy, help. Very helpful.
Every time you crack your neck, it sounds like a drive-by. We need to... But go about your business, guys. Go about your business.
It's called a strategic option, you know? First wave intimidation. But no. Honestly, things have been a little quiet in the city recently on my end, and that's nice. No, I don't know, any random demon possessions, kid? He falls to, like, the kitchen area.
Yeah, Panda comes back in and gives them both the pina coladas and is like, thankfully, I don't think so. I really hope there hasn't been any.
No demon
there we go. If
possessions
anyone's
that you all
getting
know
possessed,
of.
it's definitely the kids.
No demon possessions that you know of. If there have been any particular things in the vampiric community or the city of Las Vegas that you have investigated, let me know.
Yeah, Stray's been keeping his head down for the most part. Mostly Stray has needed to spend a little bit of time recovering physically, as he does after every hunt. Old bones of a marshal, surely. He's a young man by some terms, but by hunter standards, he's ancient. Mostly he's just been keeping his head in the occult practices of the city, just his pulse on what's going on. But as he looks over at Jamie, he's going to go, how about you, Gaslight? Anything unusual happening in your side of the world?
Jamie looks to see really quick if the child is still in the room.
Oh, I assume they wandered off with yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's still around. She loves to hang out with you. But her, like, Darlene understands when Lacey needs to.
Hannah.
Yeah?
Birdum.
Berta?
Stray, in not ominous Stray commentary, Stray saying, send the birds to go distract Lacey.
Oh! Panna looked confused at first, like Stray was suggesting he sick the birds on Lacey, and then realizes he sends Blue to go distract Lacey because Gray
This
probably
kid, she's a
very
brat.
nice to
Like,
Lacey. No!
Whoa, grackles be upon thee. 50. No,
I was gonna ask you. I don't wanna interrupt Jamie's stuff. Is it possible to have been keeping an eye on stuff in the area? Because I assume we usually do keep an ear to the ground. That's probably mostly Jamie and the social scene, and Panna observation wise.
It appears that every tomboy or femboy in the Vegas area has been completely booked or has mysteriously gone missing.
oh, that's devastating to the local economy.
I don't have any hard science behind that. I'm just going off the metrics of what my Instagram messages have been. And honestly, I've had so many people soliciting me for illicit images at this point that I've run out of like thunderbolts to send at them, right? Like I can't. It's like Instagram has rate limited me on typing KYS.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I mean, look, Gaslight, objectively, you got the looks, but, I mean, this is Vegas, and, nothing, unless you've done something incredible I'm not aware of, should have boosted your, fame more so than anything else. That seems weird.
Yeah, it's been odd. There's always some amount of that particular approach that I expect. But it's been a lot recently. And it's been increasingly weird as well.
Weird how?
A mix of like odd requests and like the normal kind of odd request, like the yucking someone else's yum odd request, you know?
Of course.
A lot of offers to be like an entertainer at bachelor and bachelorette parties, so you know that's very cool.
Oh, I get it.
And I can't help but look a bit alarmed.
We got him scared.
Darlene, too.
See, sounds to me like there might be a sudden glut of providers of nightlife entertainment. Sounds
While
to me
all
like
social
someone's
media
pulling in their
influencers
asset.
are parasite Stray, I don't know if I'd go to make that accusation immediately.
No. Listen, it's all connected. All right. I understand how the points link, and it fills a beautiful, beautiful tapestry of vaguely correct sentiments. See, we did disrupted power in this city. I mean, everyone's been sitting around recovering on their asses for a little bit. But we know, for a fact, there's a lot of kindred in the city who control what goes on. With the Sabbat gone, it seems like everyone's consolidating power. Could be that someone made a move to take someone out. The entertainment industry is suffering for it. That or someone cut tails and ran.
I mean, who can say? For a second there, Shrey, I was very concerned you were about to start on one of your rants that ends with you accusing the CEO of White Castle of being a cannibal.
I didn't accuse him of being a cannibal. I accused him of engaging in behavior that supported the cannibal cult-like members of the secret organization that runs... You saw the PowerPoint. It doesn't matter. You understand where I'm coming from.
There is no big burger, Stray Cat. I cannot.
Burgers
I think there is.
are sent... Burgers are a sign. Fast food as a whole is a prototypical invasion strategy by primordial entropy in order to decay all of existence, and I can prove it. Okay? Ben and Jerry's, The Fallen, White Castle, they're all connected. Okay? You just don't see it yet. I see it.
I agree.
Thank you. See? But also, you really
Especially White
should.
Castle.
Panna, you should not
Yes.
agree with me. I need to explain this to you. You don't agree with me, okay? Don't. Listen, I know you want to follow in my footsteps, but my footsteps are leading to a cliff which I have taken a massive leap off of into pure speculative fiction, okay? I'm allowed to do it because I'm a deranged marshal that no one should listen to. If you start speaking like me, you're an inquisitive. People might actually listen to the things that come out of your mouth.
But I feel like there's definitely something going on.
I mean, you should go get some evidence. Unlike me, my job is to just toss the wild shit out there and hope someone fact checks me. That's my contribution to scientific knowledge.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to look into it then.
Yes. Anyway, Gaslight. As I was saying. Do you want to do some more looking into it?
I mean, yeah, I'm always down to look into it. It's sort of a... If nothing else, hopefully it will reduce on the amount of messages I receive. Really, that would be ideal.
I mean, it's a tactical option. If I cannot ensure that you will read my text instantaneously, then that's a threat to the cell. Operation... God, I need to think of a really good joke for this one, but it's just not coming to me. No, sorry. I can't rise to the occasion of this joke.
Alright, Operation Femboy Liberation. Let's go.
Yay!
That's why you're in charge of code names, Gaslight. Darlene. Or Darlene, sorry. Amanda, what day is it today? Because it said that the agent would be meeting us on Wednesday.
Let's just say it's Monday.
Monday, perfect. Awesome. Well, in 2 days, we have our rendezvous with the agent. I'll just text him back and say that, come as they are, and we'll come as we are. I don't really think we need any special accommodations. I mean, I'd prefer to meet in a place without, a clear line of sniper fire.
Do you send that text?
Yep.
I might make a suggestion on one thing to add to the text, just to fuck with them a little bit.
I'm always down for that.
It's a long list of conflicting food allergies.
What?
A long list of conflicting food allergies. Any accommodations we wanted made. We're basically being like, if there's lunch at this meeting, accommodate for all of these.
Gluten-free, only bread.
Only bread.
None pizza, beef on the left. Vegetarian. While Stray is not, thankfully with all of his friends putting their heads together, Stray can construct a message that basically says, we'd love to meet somewhere where a long-ranged rifleman could not kill us, but disguise it in PTA meeting talk and not just text them, no sniper fire.
No sniper.
Sniper, no sniping. Sniper, no sniping. Sniper, no sniping. Oh, man.
It does not take long for you to receive a reply. So she says, we are looking forward to it. Your box office front row seats have already been reserved. We can arrange for transportation if you wish. And you get a screenshot of, there are barcodes. You get a screenshot of an event venue with your tickets to the matinee, front row, box office, private box performance of Trolls on Ice.
Oh my god. Wait, wasn't that what killed one of the presidents?
Stray immediately goes over to his torque board and adds Trolls killed the president to, one of the thing, because he doesn't quite get what Panda's saying at first. And he turns and he says,
the guy with the top hat. You learn about him in, elementary school. He's the guy with the top hat that got shot while watching something in a theater.
The thing is, you're right. But it feels like you should be wrong, kid. You're correct that the president was murdered at a matinee performance of a theatrical show, of which this is. Yeah.
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 There's a follow-up text that states, the junior member of your team is, of course, welcome.
Stray nods and says, he will reply, we can ensure that the safety of our guests will be absolutely maintained.
We ensure the safety of your guests will be absolutely maintained. We will spare no resource for security.
That's enough for Stray. He will call over. He will yell, Darlene!
Yeah.
It's a little later than we wanted, but Wednesday, you and Lacey want to go experience Trolls on Ice?
Were you able to get tickets?
Yep.
Oh my god! Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know if I should get out of the house.
We're getting security from the big guys, so about as secure as you get. This is their apology for how they've treated us in the past.
Okay, hell yeah. Lacey, we're gonna go see Trolls on Ice. And she's like, what? Oh my god, we're gonna go see Trolls on Ice.
And she just loses her shit. She is so happy, bouncing off the walls, planning out her party outfits. Overjoyed.
What a kid.
Oh, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh. I thought I was never going to make it. This is going to be great.
Yeah. He will lower his voice to Darlene and he'll say,
Yeah.
We'll be talking business with our new asset, but your only job will be to make sure Lacey has a wonderful day.
I'm sure I would have no idea what you guys were talking about. So, yeah, absolutely. I will. That's great.
We'll fill you in for the fact. Though I wanted to talk to you. You said you were, you said you might have a couple of those potions that you perfected the recipe on?
I perfected the recipe on a lot of shit. What are you talking about? I've been working on some new things, too. I think it's coming along pretty good.
Hell yeah. I mean, I like my face. I mean, beautifully imperfect as it is.
It is.
I might need to tap you for one of those potions. Thank you. Potions at some point, though.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I don't really have much of a social presence, but sometimes it pays for me to not look like me.
I think you look perfect, or you always did, in my memory. But yes, yeah, I'll make them. You guys know how they work. I'll cook these up. So the way that it is you are going to drink these things before you go to sleep, which I would do your longer sleep, like the longest sleep that you do. And before you do, just like settle, clear your mind, do a little meditation, play a little Enya. Don't have like a bunch of shit on your mind. Don't be thinking about like what you're gonna get for lunch or what like the next episode of Love Island is gonna be. Like, just concentrate on what you want your appearance to be, what you want to look like when you wake up. And when you have that in mind, you gotta get a nice long good sleep, and you're gonna wake up, and that's what you're gonna look like. And as long as you want to look like that, you look like that. And whenever you want to, change it back, I'll cook another one up.
Much appreciated.
Literally any time, guys. Literally any time. It's not, it's not as like powerful or quick or like precise as Merrick could do, but it works. So. Yeah, literally anytime.
You're an ace in the hole. You're an ace in the hole, a gift to this team, an asset to this entire operation, and a band friend.
Oh.
Thank you, Darlene.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we love you too. Mushy. All right, yes. Stray waves away the compliments like they're a horde of flies over his head, and
Darlene has no idea.
Well.
She's just like, so I love it that he can finally take a compliment. I've been working on him since I met him. Jeez Louise. But yeah, I'll get to the lab and I'll get one cooking. Anybody else? You don't have to. Like, it doesn't have to be like a peer pressure kind of thing.
It's not permanent, right?
It can be. It is gonna last until I make another one. And then when you take that other one, it's the same kind of process. So whenever you're done looking like this, I make another one of these things. You go into your same dream sleep, but in that case, you visualize who you are and what your appearance is. And then you wake up looking like that. So it's permanent until you repeat the process.
Like
I did it with my eyes, and that was it. I'm keeping them. If I ever decide it's like Halloween and I want to look all spooky and I want to go like eyeless again, then I'll cook up another potion and I can do that for a day or whatever. But if I never take another one, this is it. This is what I look like for as long as I'm around.
Stray sees the hesitancy, and he does clear his throat, and he goes, "Weird that I ever get to say this, but as the cell's closest thing to a resident crackpot occult conspiracy theorist, the potions that I've seen, the effects they have, I have no reason to believe that they'd be harmful to us. They're not soul corrupting like the powers of the undead sometimes are. I mean, they're really, honestly, most of Thin Blood Alchemy legitimately works across the occult, classic sorcery lines of alchemy, which, I mean, classic alchemy hasn't worked really well for a very long time.
Yeah, that's how they made white phosphorus. So, happy accidents.
Yeah. I mean, the blood is the catalyst, but I have no reason to believe it will have a negative impact on us or our abilities, both because of the nature of Darlene's existence and the fact that what Darlene does can be better explained as sorcery powered by blood, more so than I would describe it as powers of the blood. just doing their thing.
Ooh. Now I feel like a Tremere. Makes me want to flex a little bit.
Well, if you want to hear some terrifying things, I heard certain kinds of Tremere, I believe, yes, those you talked to us, those are the magic folks.
Yeah, they're the failed mages.
Exactly. I heard some of their rituals can actually be done by mortal sorcerers like myself, so long as we have blood as a catalyst ingredient. I've never tried it, and I certainly don't frankly want to. I rather like my sorcery to stay far away from Vitae, but if it can be wielded by mortal sorcerers, I would say it's much the same as Darlene's powers here. It's abusing ditches in reality to let probability flow in one direction.
Thanks.
No worries. And if there were any negative effects, I promise you, kid, you'd smell them on me before you smelt anything else.
I guess that's true. I'm a little worried, but...
I don't think you have to worry about it as much as me. The only problem is well, kid, I'm a little recognizable.
That's fair.
A little bit. And originally this was for vampires. I had to tweak it a bit, but... I got it. We did okay.
Well, if that's the case, then I think the next step is to consider that, gentlemen, ladies, and all in between and everywhere, we are officially ready to find another quarry, because I'm bored as shit. It's about time.
I agree.
I mean, a marshal without a quarry is basically like a dog without a... What can dogs not do without? I've never owned a dog.
Well...
A dog without a fire hydrant? Like, I don't...
A dog without... Dogs like bones, right?
A dog without bones. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, wait. That sounds like they don't have the bones.
Either way, I say we get to work.
Yeah, totally.
We've got Operation Femboy. We've got Operation Trolls on Ice.
Yeah.
We've got Operation Stray's Cosmetic Surgery. I'd say that those are three good options to get rid of one after another.
Yep.
Fantastic. You guys are doing great.
With that, though, I believe, unless you had other plans, Amanda, is there some rolls we can make to poke around about what's happening in the nightlife of Vegas right now?
Absolutely. Yes, Lacey, in midst of exploring, she comes in and she brings in a brochure. It is the Real Bodies exhibit.
Oh yeah, kid, what you got there?
What's that?
Look, it says it's real bodies. It's so cool.
And she holds it up and it is that same picture.
She looks like Jenny.
Oh. Yeah, I do actually see the resemblance. He mouths Rosalind to Panna with his hand over his mouth. And he says, "Can Uncle Kitty see that for a minute, precocious little scamp?"
And she hands it over.
Stray unfolds it and, oh, jeez. These are real bodies.
And Darlene is like,
oh gosh, yeah, Body World. I always thought that it was really cool. But that's my background. I thought it was great to see like everything. The human body is really kind of an amazing thing.
And Lacey asks, "What are those things, Mom?" And Darlene says, "Well, they're people who've, they've donated their bodies to kind of open up so we can learn." And Lacey says,
"Cool, they're so cool. I want to be in Body World too."
And Darlene says,
"Lacey, no, you don't. You don't want to be in Body World." And Lacey says, "Yes, I do. I want to be in Body World, Mom. I want to be in Body World." Lacey, no, you don't. You can't be in Body World. Lacey says, "Why not? I want to be in Body World."
And Darlene says, "Well,
they're dead, babe. You can't. You have to be dead to be in Body World."
To which Lacey
down to get straight. Stray gets down to get on Lacey's level and says, "Hey, Lacey. When you say you want to be in Body World, that means that you like the idea of contributing to people knowing things and looking cool. That's what you want, right?
Yes.
You want to do anything that makes it like that, and you think Body World is just like that.
Yeah. Just like that.
There are a lot of ways to be cool, and there are a lot of ways to contribute to science. So you should keep studying up on the human body. But you don't want to be at Body World yet.
Why?
That's something you do when you learn more.
Why?
Because Body World is for people who have already learned everything else they need to know.
Well, let it be. And Darlene says, baby, you can't go to Body World because, like, you can't be in Body World. They're dead.
And Lacey says, points to the brochure.
She's not dead.
You mean
So why can't
Jenny?
I be in?
So
Why can't I go too? And, Darlene has no idea what she's pointing at. And it's just like, I don't know what this kid.
Stray looks to Gaslight. He's like, help me. I'm not good with children.
So sometimes two people who are completely unrelated look very similar. That the front lady on this cover isn't Jenny. She's someone who just looks like Jenny.
I know she's not Jenny.
Okay, but what do you mean by they're still alive?
She's still alive.
Stray, as a note, Lacey
begins reading the pamphlet and then looking back to Lacey.
Lacey is not an exceptionally intelligent child. She is Darlene's child. She's a fairly normal kid. But she's acclimated to your sorcery lessons. She is malleable and has been very receptive to seeing the version of reality that is not necessarily the mundane. And she points to that brochure.
Stray.
And she says, she's alive.
May Stray take half on an into cult for 3 to kind of vibe out that right there.
How do you mean vibe out?
Basically just confirm that, yeah, she is, or I guess that'd be more insight, would be that she believes that this is, like, Lacey believes this wholeheartedly, that this is, this person is alive.
Yes.
Alright, yeah. Stray does not have 3 dots of occult or insight, but he sort of looks at her, he sees that she's very convinced, he goes, oh. He bends down and he just pats Lacey twice on the head and says, keep yourself grounded where your feet are right now, kid. Trust me. When other people say, what do you mean?
Huh?
That's when you keep it your little secret.
Oh.
And he ruffles her hair and says, you're doing great, kid. You're doing great. And he stands up and he looks very, his face just like code shifts instantly into from like ha 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 to ha 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 ha. And he turns and he goes, I think Lacey might be seeing something that even I don't. I mean, I'm a damn good teacher, I guess.
Yeah, no,
Better
I'm
than
getting
I
sort of
thought.
Shining vibes there, and I don't really have the capacity to interrogate it.
Well, it's a good sign. Actually, there are a lot of other things. You know, I didn't expect her to learn that quickly. That's actually really concerning for me. Like, it took me literally years to just be able to, like, occasionally think I saw something out of the corner of my eyes, and that was probably the cocktail of drugs they had me on.
Yeah, Panda looks very worried right now, and he's kind of lowers his voice to Stray. He's like, wait, so the bodies are alive?
Maybe.
possibly, there's two explanations. Either one, she's manifesting some form of, like, timeline sight, and she's seeing something through that image that I can't see because it's not in this reality. Two, she's messing with us, which would be very funny, and I gotta admit, would fit my sense of humor. Three, she's perhaps the most prodigious sorcerer I've ever heard of in my entire life, and is already having glimpses of events along a non-linear timeline. In which case, oh my god, I'm the best fucking teacher in the world. I need to go on tour. The Arcanum can just absolutely suck it. I am the greatest sorcerer of this generation, or any generation. I'm leaning towards option 3, because that would be the funniest. But option 2 or 1 are also possible. God, I'm like Hunter Gojo. I'm just that good.
Hunter Gojo?
I'll introduce you to the best manga of all time sometime, kid, but not now.
He kind of nods. He looks concerned, if anything.
I'm doing so much psychic damage to Kaden directly right now.
You are. I can't have Panna know Mijutsu Kaisen. Mijutsu Fraudson.
Anyway, Gaslight. We might want to do some looking into this exhibit. If bodies on the cover are flagging something, it might just be something to look into. But, you know, I'm only good at roughing people up, so if you'd like, I can go bash some heads in and figure out what's going on in the nightlife scene if you want to spend some time figuring out what's going on with the bodies, or we can focus all of our efforts just one project at a time.
I'll talk to people politely and see what I can figure out.
That's your skill set. Stray cracks every bone in his hand, and he says, I'm gonna go work on mine.
All right.
Yeah, Stray turns to Panna and says, you should come with me, but probably keep your distance. As funny as it would be to intimidate people with a swarm of rats, that's the kind of thing that makes evening news, and we really don't want to do that. Also, bringing your kid with you to the beatdown is kind of, you know, I mean, it doesn't look great.
I can be intimidating.
You can, but do you want to be? Especially if they're not supernaturals and are just regular, everyday pieces of crap.
That's true.
All right.
So I'm not gonna feel too bad rattling these skulls, because
All right, I'll keep my distance then.
But yeah, Darlene has no idea what's going on, but she's like,
Well, I'm proud of my baby. Yay! Oh man. Well, she's outclassed me in everything, every possible way.
we spoke about it a long time ago, but the next generation will really have everything figured out over us.
God willing.
Ugh. They'll surpass that guy too if they have long enough.
That's a big if.
Absolutely. Stray would like to roll a manipulation intimidation to go find some of those creeps and losers and figure out what exactly is happening in the city on that side of the world.
By creeps and losers. Actually, you just let me know what Stray does, how he does the hunt, and who he seeks out, and I'll let you know.
Stray is hearing that there's a lot of people, a lot of lonely losers, soliciting anyone and everyone they can find out for parties, for gatherings, for just about anything. So Stray heads to seedy bars, seedy locations in Vegas. They're a dime a dozen, not hard to find.
Yep.
And he's going to find anyone who seems to be harassing men or women for services and try and figure out what exactly is going on. Why is suddenly this becoming such an epidemic in the city? And despite not being dressed in his hunter apparel, he'll just be going out in civilian clothes. Stray is also a little over 6'2" in combat boots, so he can cut an intimidating figure if he needs to.
Just a little intimidating.
Just a little. As you walk through the city of Las Vegas, when you walk through the city of Las Vegas, it is virtually a guarantee that you are going to have people hand you cards, escort services, dancers, what have you. They're kind of fun to collect. And, I made a little tarot deck when I went on my honeymoon. It was fun. But very few people are handing these out. You see a lot of, usually male, but, there's girls too, like pissy bachelorette parties with like their stupid little crowns and things that they wear. And they just look grumpy. They just look discontent. The bar, like the seedy bars and things like that, they're packed with patrons, but very few people, the strip clubs are active. But it seems that the escort services, you can't find much at all. And even the strip clubs, people are pissed because there are very few dancers, on board. If you look on the internet, because with Vegas, there are licensed brothels, the Yelp reviews in the past couple of weeks have, not been great at all. From patrons who came to Vegas expecting a great time and said that there was nobody on staff. There was nobody who would answer the phone. There were no appointments available. They're not, they're really not booking people at all.
With that additional context, that actually changes Stray's approach a little bit. With the knowledge that he has, that he sees the people out and about. While Stray is all for going out and spending his time keeping people from bothering other people, if he's attacking this from an angle, he needs to be smart. If these strip clubs are low on people, and there's the patrons probably aren't going to know anything more about it than anyone else. But Stray does have one advantage a lot of people don't have, and that's that he is absolutely deranged. That is that Stray is a little looser on the morals of criminal behavior. So long as it serves a better, higher purpose. And that is to say, Stray would actually like to break into a strip club, get into back offices, and figure out, see if they have any internal documents or internal records on what the hell is going on with the staffing shortage right now.
You are able, I'm going to say you're able to do so. You got the stealth. You've got it. When you are... That's a 7 dice pool, so I can roll it if you'd like, or take half for 3. I believe you. I believe you. Yes. When you review these documents, strip clubs, they don't keep the greatest of records, but in Vegas, it's going to be a little bit better than most. The dancers really kind of started trickling down as far as their availability around the time that y'all got out of the caverns. And when you trace it back, if you've taken notice of the Vegas nightlife, this started happening around the time that the Succubus Club, or the Rising Sun, suddenly and inextricably closed. And it's been getting steadily worse since then. Fewer and fewer people have been clocking in.
Trey, sorting through papers. Shades. Half pulled over. A cascade of light passes over his eyes. He holds up the paper and he goes, "It's all connected. Everything's connected. It's all connected."
You can see phone records where the managers have tried to call the staff, trying to get anybody to come in. And it goes to, voicemail most of the time. No one's picking up. And the patrons are grumpy as hell.
Yep. Lots of written complaints, I'm guessing. Stray,
yes.
Stray goes through and records down pretty much just all the notable dates on a piece of paper he has with him, so he can just kind of walk out, no harm, no foul. He's got nothing else here really that's super concerning to him, and he's had some bad experiences in Vegas with meeting some more powerful than they appear people while out and about in those areas. So since he's on his own, he's just sticking to the areas he can expect moderate resistance.
Mm-hmm. In the rare occasions that you are able to encounter a worker in that field, they basically will not talk to you. They'll barely make eye contact.
That is fair. Stray is not the interrogator of the group, and I'm sure when he smiles at them, it sets off every red flag in the back of their head. With his 1 charisma and 0 persuasion, just hey.
And they're like,
want to see a magic trick? Stealth, disappear. never show faces again. No. With that, I feel that will be Stray's first investigation if someone else wants to make their own roll.
fantastic.
As for anything that Jamie might be getting up to, I was wanting to ask around, sort of in the party scenes. Just generally going out, seeing what people are talking about, what they're complaining about, sort of what the pulse on the street is.
The pulse on the street among the people who are there to enjoy that industry is that it's dead. It sucks. The city is just like dried up completely. For the people who are in that industry or are affiliated with that industry, the general sentiment is it's fucking scary out there.
Any chance I could get someone to open up to me just a little bit more about why specifically it's scary out there right now?
You do get someone to open up to you. That there's been a notable shortage of people in this industry who disappeared. And they figured at first, okay, they got flown out to Dubai for some rich guy's party, made whatever money they were going to make, came home, but no one's coming home. They've just kind of fallen off of the face of the earth. So if you dig a little, at first, the people who, really started disappearing, if you dig a little into their profiles, they look a lot like you. And they just didn't clock in for work. There was no update to their social media. But their disappearance started to trigger, some fear among everybody who's in that industry because there was really no explanation for it. And everyone's afraid to come to work now because they don't know
so enough
what happened.
people have gone missing that everyone's gone to ground.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't know what's going on. They don't know why.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't know why this person hasn't been picking up their phone. They don't know why they haven't been, calling in for work. It's like a whole bunch of people just ghosted them.
So, Stray Cat starts receiving a series of text messages from Jamie, which are the various people who have gone missing's picture with, red circles highlighting the parts of their facial features that are similar, whether it's, the way cheekbones rest, or ears, or nose, or eyes. It's just a constant barrage of different pictures of people with circles drawn on them. Red circles. And then one follow-up text, notice anything similar?
You get an immediate text back with, my God, they've drawn red circles over all of them.
Jesus Christ.
This is immediately followed by Stray actually sending a follow-up text saying, I do see it, yes.
And then Jamie would like to start comparing other people who have gone missing with our friend who's currently taking a leave of absence and seeing if this trend repeats itself.
Jamie does get a text back from Stray with just like all the dates that he got from the strip club and how it aligns on the timeline.
But essentially that is the plan, to see everybody that they can find who goes missing and see if they also look like our friend Rosalind.
Oh. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I guess I didn't clarify that. These people the workers who went missing, they don't look like Rosalind. They look like you, Jamie.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about if anybody else who had gone missing happened to look like Rosalind, to see if there was like two patterns that were occurring.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Previous expos of Body World.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking there may be a pattern here of past victims and disappearances looking like past cover photos and patterns of people going missing may have overlap in terms of like facial features and so on.
I didn't have enough brain cells to understand that the first time. Maybe I'll get better the second.
Essentially, Jamie would like to start looking for past versions of the Body World Expo thing. Like different front cover pamphlets. And then would like to check that against other missing persons to see if there's a correlation between front photos of those pamphlets and people who have gone missing.
She, on the front, is the only one. There have been previous, additions and updates from this particular company on Body World. But their covers, like their cover art features, it was an indistinguishable, impressively done, but a fairly standard Body World thing. You didn't have a lot of features, you didn't have a lot of face. But this one, this is the first one with any correlation to a person that you know.
Jamie is going to pull off of the street because learning that information is the kind of thing that makes someone go to ground personally. So they will return to the safe house at some point, probably after having jumped through a couple of their personal safe houses for a couple days, for like a night, just to make sure they're good. So like, Jamie just shows up at the safe house at like 3 a.m. unannounced.
Darlene's awake. She's up. She's like cranking out her alchemy. And I presume that she hears Jamie come in and she's like, oh shit. Who's there?
Just me.
God. What are you doing awake? It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Was out, talking to people, doing an investigation. Decided to, ditch my car, jump through a couple safe houses, make sure no one was following me.
Oh my gosh, you Gen Zers, y'all so crazy.
Yeah, we're all so crazy when a bunch of people who look like us have gone missing. We're all so crazy.
What happened?
Now, I'm going to sound like Stray Cat for a moment, but I've been looking at, like, nothing but missing persons reports, and they all look like me. Like, all of them.
Well, that's probably not a coincidence. What's been going on?
People missing. Don't know the exact context. Don't know why they're going missing.
Oh.
Essentially, enough people have been kidnapped that, like, everybody in remotely anything near sex work is basically just... They've all gone to ground.
Oh, poor babies. But it's a whole bunch of people who look like you?
Well, they look similar to me. There's no one who looks like me.
Yeah, I know.
Simply,
You're pretty much one of a kind. Okay.
Cheekbones, ears, nose, bags under the eyes, that sort of thing.
Come on. I saw you, which I'm totally glad I got a chance to see your face back in January. I'm glad I did. But you're just the prettiest little thing. You know it. But no, a lot of people look like you. When did this start happening?
A couple weeks ago. Around the same time, I started getting a lot of messages of, like, an illicit nature.
More than the usual?
A lot more than the usual.
Okay. Well, I would say stay safe. Like somebody's got a type, and I guess that's what they're after.
Yeah. If I had to guess that somebody does have a type, and I'm their type.
Man.
If Stray's still awake, and Jamie will walk out of that room and see if Stray's in their hammock or not.
Stray is not in the hammock, but the door to his little private meditation room, quote unquote, is like closed. But there's a sign hanging on it that says the princess is awake. Come on in. And the other side says the princess is sleeping. Shh. Did he steal it from Lacey? Potentially, but it's a very useful sign.
I love that.
Jamie will open the door, because whether or not Stray Cat was awake or asleep didn't really matter to them. You up, Stray?
Stray is sitting cross-legged. He appears to be strangling his shotgun with like two hands while being surrounded by like 13 burning candles. And the second he turns over his shoulder, he like unloads the shotgun shell that was in the shotgun, places it down on the ground in front of him, and says, "Sorry, me and Mortis were just having a bit of a domestic. What's up?"
Every time you say you and your shotgun are doing anything, I need you to know it is incredibly unnerving.
That is duly noted. Would you like me to not tell you the next time me and my shotgun are doing something?
I don't know which is worse, honestly. I was just coming in to tell you that, we identified that maybe somebody has a type, and that I might be it.
Okay, this is really not a good sign.
So, timeline lines up, me getting a bunch of creepy messages, everybody who looks, sort of like me disappearing, right?
Yeah. And it all lines up with the rising sun closing down.
So, hear me out here.
I'm hearing
Mayhaps, just maybe, right now, I am God's tastiest honey.
Yeah. Gaslight, I respect very little more in this world than the fact that you would learn that your life is in imminent danger, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, "I'm a delicious honeypot."
I mean, what other option have I got, really? That's sort of my strategic value.
Are y'all, by chance,
lead.
are you guys whispering this? I just want to verify.
No.
Because Jarlene's a
absolutely,
snoop.
probably. Yeah, probably not. Stray's in his meditation chamber, so he's speaking at a normal volume.
Okay, fantastic.
And he's just going to go,
Darlene, kind of pokes her in. Did you see the rising sun was closed?
Yeah, no. Rising Sun suddenly shut down right after we got you out of the pit. Just out of nowhere, closed down. No grand closing, no festival, no doohad. Chains went over the door, and no one's heard a peep out of it since.
Is it too much for a girl to hope?
Oh. Hope is all we have sometimes.
Okay.
Though I'm a little concerned with how it lines up with everything happening to the sex workers in the city, and how well it lines up to a new obsessed party being involved with our mutual friend.
I remember when I went to the Rising Sun, there were always entrepreneurs. They were present.
Yes.
The hottest ones. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gaslight. Are you sure you want to be bait? Because we don't even know what you're bait for yet.
Here's the thing. Does finding out what I'm bait for change the fact that probably our best strategic option is going to be making me bait.
It changes the context in which we... Depends if we dangle you from a string or from sticky tape.
I appreciate your honesty regarding that. Ideally, I'd like to know exactly what I'm putting myself out there as bait for before I do that.
That's my preference too, for your survival.
Maybe our friends on Wednesday might know a little bit.
And they're gonna be smug as shit about it too, if they know anything.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll walk into that meeting and they'll just tell me, "Hey, you need to go into a hole in the ground."
We should all probably go into a hole in the ground, but I don't know. Have you talked to any of the, have you talked to any of the industry people?
Tragically, I have a face that screams deadly predator, not one that screams trustworthy confidant. So I didn't have much luck there.
I've talked a little bit. A lot of people have gone underground just because of people going missing. It's sort of it's not safe right now. It's sort of, the thing of, if you hear there's a serial killer, like, why would you go out?
You telling me people aren't flocking to Jack the Ripper 2 Electric Boogaloo? Shocked.
They are not. As a matter of fact, not many people are wanting to go out at night in Whitechapel, believe it or not.
Well, if that's the case, then our answer is pretty clear. We need to figure out what this is on Wednesday if we can. Next step after that, seeing if we can get some more information by leveraging our very, very god specialist little asset, Gaslight. I'm really... Alright. Jokes aside, I'm concerned, Gaslight. This is concerning. I make light of a lot of things, but the last time a hunter that I knew got specifically targeted by a supernatural, it did not end well for them. I don't want a repeat of the Nephilim situation.
I'm just going to interject. You said you have the face of a predator, which I don't necessarily agree with. But what about the pocketbook?
Wait. I'm not dirt poor anymore. Yes. Yeah.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it? Right? I didn't know what to do. I was like,
the legacy of the bourgeoisie flows through my veins. With capitalism, I too can subvert the will of others by utilizing the hard-earned money of other people. Well, if I don't speak like that, I should be fine to just pay them to tell me things.
I mean, it'd probably be the easiest night that you had.
You know what? That is. Well, Gaslight.
Mm-hmm.
I have a night to go arrange.
Are you sure you're not going to need more money? Because you're kind of,
I mean, I've got like $100 on me. I could go to the bank and get some more, I guess.
And then Jamie will take out their wallet and start counting out a couple extra $100. Whatever you do, don't give them a Wendy's coupon for their trouble.
I mean, Wendy's is good
Straight
as hell.
puts away his coupon books.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if people are a little skeeved out, sometimes it helps to have a non-intimidating, gentler sort of presence.
I'm not bringing Hummingbird. I'm not bringing Hummingbird.
Yeah, I imagine Panda's not in the room right now. Panda's
curled up with a bunch of rats, I assume, in
Yeah. Bring Hummingbird to the strip club.
I mean, I guess technically nothing's happening. I could use his presence. Shit, and he's the only person who knows how to see through lies. Alright, well.
I mean, when I first met you, I'll be real. When I first met you, I was a little, you are a little intense, a little intimidating. But there was also Panna, and I was like, oh look, if this little guy here, like, there's no way that this guy can be that bad if he's got like this little bean hanging out with him. Like, I didn't know you back then, and I didn't know like the depths of the rage in Panna's heart back then. But like, that's just outward appearances.
You know what? You raise actually a very good point.
Thanks.
All right. Hold on, I have to bring a sacrifice if I'm going to wake him up. And Stray walks over to a locked box, which he unlocks and opens. He pulls out a second box. He unlocks it and he opens it. Pistachios inside that second box. And he grabs a bag, closes
yes.
it, relocks it, and shakes his head and says, I'm going to go get the kid. We're going to do some interrogating. Actually, Gaslight, is there something I can ask you to look into for me?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't involve, like me going out onto Craigslist to meet strange and exciting new people.
Hopefully not. It might involve you calling your therapist, though.
Ugh.
I need to figure out what the SI presence in the city is actually like right now. I mean, things were pretty up in the air a couple months ago. Don't know if they pulled out after the invasion was settled. They're trying to settle in. I mean, having some more information over before we meet our contact might just help us make the difference between an equitable exchange of information and them smiling at both sides of their face.
I'll see what I can dig up.
Much appreciated. Stray opens the door to the electrical room and just throws in a handful of pistachios and says, "Eat, you damn dirty animals!"
The rats awaken.
Panna, you are awoken, as you have been before, by being lifted up by, like, the back of your jacket by Stray. Or, like he just grabs, like, whatever you're wearing, like, through the blankets and just kind of lifts you up to, like, waist level and just goes, Hummingbird.
Yeah. Now I am.
Excellent.
We have a mission?
Yeah, we do.
You don't sound thrilled about it.
I need you to be the non-intimidating presence while I go hire a sex worker.
What?
It is purely for tactical purposes.
Okay.
I'm not going to get them to say anything, but if I pay them, they might be willing to speak. The only problem is they tend to give me weirdly, they give me about the same margin of, like, distance as my ability to psychically interfere with evil powers. So it's really inconvenient, actually. If anything was happening, I actually couldn't even know about it.
Oh.
But according to Darlene, you're non-intimidating.
Well, in that case then, yeah, I'm down to go. We're not gonna have to see them naked though, are we?
God, I hope not. Thankfully, we just need to get them to speak on us on what's really happening, figure out what's actually... Oh, right. Also, Gaslight's probably at risk of being abducted and murdered, so just keep that on your radar as well.
Why?
Yeah, apparently all the bunch of disappearances, they all kind of look like Gaslight. We got Rosalind on the front cover, Jamie in the behind-the-scenes theft.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God. And he puts both his hands on Panna's shoulders. You and I are so blisteringly average that no one is kidnapping anyone who looks like us.
That's true. That is probably for the best.
I'll give you a minute to put a rat in your pocket or whatever you do.
Yeah, let me... Missions. He kind of starts getting stuff together. He's like, I presume we're not bringing weapons and armor, but
No. Oh,
Yeah, right.
don't bring armor if you can conceal something. Same safety we ever keep on us.
He nods. He'll try to conceal I don't know what the club security is, because I know he's got his gun, but
Metal
It
detector.
is made by Stray Cat. Stray
Good.
is packing light. He's got mortis and a pistol in one boot. He's got a second pistol on his hip. He's got another pistol in a shoulder guard, and that's it. He's got his 3 concealed short-range firearms and mortis and trench coat on, pana in hand. He's gonna go burn his resource dots.
Where are you going, boys? You go to the club area. A lot of patrons around. It seems to have tapered off because they've kind of realized there's not much there. You got the bartenders. You've got a couple of the barflies who, are dressed entirely too well to just be there for a drink. They've got a lot of people around them. They've all got kind of...
Stray hates being in nightclubs just because they put every single hackle on the back of his neck in high alert mode. We're not on the hunt tonight, but you want to see what's going on anyway, kid?
I think it's best. And can I roll his sense the unnatural?
Yes. No supernaturals.
All right.
That's so rare for Hummingbird. Hummingbird
It
for
is.
once
I'm so
doesn't
sorry.
feel.
You went into a club and it's just humans. Which is in and of itself a little odd.
Yeah.
Panna. There are no supernatural. Panna. A moment later, there are no supernatural.
Yeah, actually, like he's worried.
It's like Stray does look at Panna. He goes, "How can you be stressed when you sense things, and also when you don't sense things? Is there an answer? Was there a response to this that would not have sent you into a panic?
Probably not.
At least we know that there's nothing here we have to worry about right now."
Not at the moment, at least, but it's odd.
Yeah, that is strange. Could be that everyone went to ground.
There are a couple of islands
Maybe.
of people who look like they are workers. They're scattered here and there. People are chatting them up. No one's alone. They're all in groups of 2, 3, or 4.
Yep, safety and numbers. Stray does acknowledge. He goes, they're grouping up, safety in numbers. All right, I'd say wish me luck, but I don't think luck is going to help me with this one.
All right.
Stray holds the money in his hand and folds it up and hides it in his palm, at least, so he's not just walking around waving money. And yeah, God bless. If you call for a social roll, you're going to have a wonderful experience, Amanda. Stray marches like a military man across the bar towards one of the groups. He actually is going to pick one of the larger groups, purely because at the very least it is slightly, maybe more at ease for them, even though it increases the number of people who he's sure are going to laugh at him. And he walks up and he would just like to... I would like to acquire an evening of entertainment. One evening, please.
They, the girl in the lead, she just, looks at your boots and looks at your face and says, I'm going to tell you right now we're requiring references at this time. Where's Panna right now?
Panna's just left. He's just like, you're on your own, bro.
Panna's probably right behind Stray.
Is he right behind Stray?
Panna just like phases out from behind Stray.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine Panna's right behind Stray.
All right, just this. Good. Okay. Yes. Stray, you come up to this group, and they've had people approaching them all night. Like, they give you kind of the glance, like it looks poor, but whatever. And the girl is closest to you looks at you and says, "We are requiring references at this time." And then the one right behind, because they're all staring at you, the one right behind, look, because they're all giving you this shitty look, looks down and sees Panna and says, guys. And she slaps the girl next to her. And the girl's like, what? It's that kid. Oh. And they say, what? It's the kid. It's that. And then all of them kind of perk up and they're like, what? And they all look at Panna and they say,
oh, God.
It's the kid. Oh my God, it's that kid. And, one of the girls in the back, she looks over, she waves over one of the other groups and they're like, what? And she says, here. And she says, all right. They kind of like go off from who they're talking to. They make their way across the crowd. Another gaggle of like a scantily clad nubile women rolls up and she says, it's the kid. No. And they look and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the kid. It's that kid. Panna, in a few minutes, you find yourself surrounded by an army of doting, joyful, radically underdressed, nubile beauties, the loveliest in Las Vegas. And amidst the chaos and the thumping of the music, the lighting is a little different. The garb is a little different. But you can recognize several faces from that terribly traumatic night when a couple of surely well-meaning ghouls decided it might be fun. Decided it might be fun to take the little arrow to a strip club.
Oh no! Oh no!
Trey is looking at Panna like Panna has been living a double life this whole time that he's not known about. Like, he's just like looking like with this genuine shock in his face.
It's the, oh my gosh! Hey, kid, what are you doing here? Guys, hey, come on! They say, hey, come with me. Like they Panna, they all start leading you back to what is effectively a champagne room.
He starts letting them lead him, is like looking back to Stray for help. As a gaggle of woman.
Stray follows along. They
don't stop you, Stray. They don't stop you. Yeah, they're not stopping you. And they take Panna, they drag you into a back room. It's basically a champagne room. And they shut the door behind you.
Oh my gosh.
You are surrounded. And they are overjoyed.
Panna.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's the kid! Guys, I was telling you about that kid. I was telling you, oh my gosh. Hey, buddy. Oh, hey. Yeah. Hi, we remember you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh my God.
Like, you do?
Yeah, oh my gosh, hun, our hearts were breaking. Our hearts were breaking for you. It's like, it's so much more common. Like that happens so much more commonly than you would think. We see it all the time. Seriously. Like somebody they've got like a party or a family member or they'll like have this big group and they'll bring somebody in who like obviously doesn't want to be there. And they just I don't know, they like give him shit or try to like push him to do something or whatever. But like we see that. We see that all the time. We really do. It's like we felt so fucking bad for you, but we couldn't say anything because like we were on the clock and like, oh my God. Oh my God, that was like, that was such a dick move. Like it happened, like that happens all the time. That happens so
So it's like so much more common than you would think. But like, oh, you poor baby, we felt so bad for you. Like,
I was okay. You're all very nice.
oh, what are you doing here? Like, are you even old enough to drink? Yeah.
I'm old enough. I mean, not to drink, but
Those are love you. Get him a Shirley Temple. Get them both Shirley Temples. You both get Shirley Temples.
Excellent. Stray accepts the drink without hesitation. He does not drink it, though, because Stray doesn't drink anything that Panda didn't make for him. He is a long-standing rule. He just holds it very, very assuredly. And as he does, he looks and he says, yes, well, this has gone a lot smoother than I expected it to. I'm also not sure where to go from here, but
Yeah, what are you even doing out here? Like,
yes. Hi, I'm his older brother.
Cute. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I wish I was here for cute reasons.
Nobody comes here.
There's, yeah, no one comes near Stray. Yeah, it's. But he looks at it, he goes,
And they look at Panda like, oh my god, did he convert you to the dark side? It's okay. No judging.
Hannah is just shamefaced.
I guess you could call me a private investigator. I'm not here for the normal stuff, adultery or that business. I'm here because there's been a lot of missing person cases recently, and a lot of people in Vegas seem to be affected. I've taken it upon myself to figure out what's going on, and I was hoping I might be able to get an in to talk to some people who know a little bit more than me. And he looks at Panda like, please start talking, talking.
Panda nods and says, yeah, no, we're here on investigating business.
Wow. Somebody who actually gives a shit. It's a welcome change of pace.
Yeah, no, of course we give a shit.
Missing people are missing people. Doesn't matter who they are, what they were doing. They deserve to be found as much as anyone else. Hopefully safe and in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Bit by bit, they kind of like look to each other and people chime in. It started getting weird like around the time the rising sun. And like most of us don't work at the rise, like we've heard of the rising sun, but like you have to be, you got to be like the fucking like model material to even get through the door for whatever, you know. So most of us didn't work there, but after it closed down, you know, you expect the girls that did work there and the guys that did work there to kind of circulate back. You know, because one club, you know, clubs close down all the time. You know, clubs close down all the time, and it's no big deal because, you know, the people in Vegas are still there. But we expect, like, when one club closes down, we just go on to the other one. But, you know, the guys who are working at the Rising Sun, when that club closed down, they didn't, like, really circulate anywhere, and they stopped responding on Instagram. We couldn't really contact them, and people and then we started like having people who are, you know, who didn't necessarily work there, but you know, they're in the industry, who just, you know, they stopped coming out too, and they stopped responding also. And we figured, okay, they're on vacation, you know, they're going to Dubai for one of the parties and they'll be back in a few weeks. But, you know,
no word back.
Like, no. They're not.
Okay, that's consistent with what we already knew, and
right.
Paints the same picture we were really hoping it wasn't painting.
There is.
Did anyone know what it was like in the club?
I mean, everyone the people that I talk to, they say that it was incredibly nice. That the environment was like, it was like a freaking palace. It was very clean. Everybody was paid very well. Everyone was very gorgeous, and like you didn't really even have to do like a lot of crazy stuff. Like it was, it was exhausting. It was physically draining. But they didn't make you do anything like super weird. Nobody ever like caught anything. As I recall, when you work there, everyone goes quiet. And there are various expressions that kind of pass over. Some of them are glancing at each other. There are some whispers.
Want to give us an insight check? Panda.
Yeah, can I roll an insight check?
There's something they're not telling you. And everybody has a different opinion on it.
We need as much info as we possibly can have if we're going to be able to find out who's doing this and how to stop them.
One of the girls, two of the girls actually, after some hesitation, look at each other and they say, I'm going to clock out early. And they get some shitty looks, but they get some relieved looks too among their group. Do you guys bring your own car?
Stray has money. Oh wait, no, there's a really funny possible answer to this. You know what? I'm gonna commit to it because it's what Stray Cat would do. Stray had Panna riding handlebars on an electric bicycle, which is how Stray has been getting around.
Oh my gosh.
It's quiet. He doesn't need a license. He doesn't need any personal identification to be riding it. It gets around Vegas well enough, and he can easily discard it if he needs to. Stray is convinced it is the ideal means of transportation.
Oh my god. I love that.
That is peak. That is peak. All right.
That also means outside of this very, very, outside of this, beside all the motorcycles parked out, I'm sure motorcycles parked outside of this club, there's just one chained up electric bicycle.
Yes. You are the only electric bicycle. It's just you.
Also, to be clear, because Stray made it, it looks like a fire hazard. Like, the battery has, like, exposed wiring. It looks like it's assembled from, like, 6 different bikes that were Frankenstein together.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Outstanding. So good. So good.
But yeah, Stray turns back and says, We have a bicycle.
I really admire that commitment to reducing your carbon footprint. Do you want to ride with us?
I feel that, I could take the bike, I could just kind of hang off the back of the car and you guys can go. I mean, kid should ride.
Is that safe?
Well, it's about as safe as anything else I do. I mean, this baby can get up to 30, 40 miles per hour. Like, yeah, I can keep up if I'm just really gunning it.
All right, we'll drive slow. We'll drive slow.
Thank you.
And they clock out.
Stray will. Yep.
And
Stray will just follow behind the car, and Panna's stuck in the car with them. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, Panna's like clearly nervous being away from Stray, especially for something like this.
They're talking about Fashion Week. They're talking about Fashion Week. They're talking about the Olympics and like the men's gymnastic championship. It's completely everyday gabbing.
He's definitely listening. He doesn't really understand, but he's definitely like nodding along. Like he should know this stuff.
All right, we're gonna take you to like our base of operations, basically.
Okay.
Because like I think there's somebody you should meet if you're trying to if you're really trying to figure out what happened with all that.
We are.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna introduce you to someone. She's a little jumpy about. So just she might be pissed. She's probably gonna be pissed, but it's whatever.
Oh. Well, I will do my best to be not intimidating.
You're doing great. you're doing great, honey. You're doing great. You're all right. They drive. They eventually drive to Vegas. Doesn't really have a red light district. It has red light islands, but it's a brothel. It's a licensed brothel. And they take you in through what would be the employee entrance, and it's kind of like it's like an independent contractor type things. Everyone's got their own room, everyone's got their own space. There's a bar, but they take you through. Not through the public. They take you to the break room, and it's like a normal break room. There is a door, and it leads downward. And they say, she's shy. Okay, so just like, she hasn't really talked much since she got here. So just like, be calm,
Okay.
be cool. Panna?
He nods.
You can smell ghoul.
Oh.
The closer you get to that door, you can smell ghoul.
Oh no. Yeah, he has a bad feeling he might know what's happened to her.
So they open the door.
Stray huffing and puffing catches up to Panna, but he's keeping his distance.
So they head over. They head down the stairs. And it's like a little room it's not set up to be a bedroom. It was just set up to be a storage room. But there's a bed. There is a television rigged up. There's the basic niceties that they tried. And there is a young lady, just a petite, beautiful, fine-boned little thing with short, dark hair, and a frantic look. And she hears the door open, and she kind of looks up. And they say, Sanji? Says, yeah. She sees it too. What the fuck is this? And the two girls say, Sanji, you need help. Just before the young lady says, you fucking bitch. And she books it for the stairs and attempts to push past you.
Panna lets her move because the last thing he wants to do is make her feel trapped.
She flees. She pushes past the two girls. She'll try to push past you too, Stray. She is moving faster than a normal person should.
Okay.
The two girls are yelling, trying to convince her to stay.
Oh God. Oh, this could get real. I mean, Stray can solve this situation, but it's not gonna look good.
Oh no.
But, so, as time seems to slow down for Stray as she comes at him, and his eyes lock with Panna, and Stray's probably fast enough to keep up with her, and that means he can do something privately, but she could get away, or he could pull out his casting implement and do something now, and everyone's going to be very concerned by this.
I think that can Panna try to distract the other two girls so that Stray can pull out the casting implement?
Give it a try.
Do you want? I mean, you could play like she push-upped you really hard. You could fake just absolutely eating shit.
Oh yeah, Panda. Can Panda try to fake that?
To convince them that you just ate shit just now.
It's a combination of dodging and yelling.
Ooh, we are willpowering. I only got one success, so we're. Oh, okay, 2 successes. He's not very good at this, but
Yeah, no, you fall down, they hear the thump, and, they get their eyes away from their friend. They're like, oh my god, the kid, no! And they like, swarm over you, like, trying to, like, make sure, like, oh my god, did you get hurt? Are you okay? Did you hit your head? Like, yes, they are...
Okay.
The moment that Eyes leaves Stray, he plants on the back foot, does like a half jump back so he can stay in front of her, draws a handgun from his hidden holster, moves to press it against the front of her head, and just says, bang. And he will activate Thwart the Unnatural as reality shatter out the back of her skull, and he is going to attempt to suppress her blood bond. And would you like me to roll Composure plus Occult for that?
Yes.
Because she would, I assume she's already tried to resist and failed, which means Stray should probably roll an active resistance check.
She is going to try to resist this.
That is a 7 success critical.
Oh my god, yeah, you did fine. Yep, you thwart, her blood bond, it ceases immediately.
Yeah. There's what she sees, because, thankfully everyone else is distracted, but what she sees is this guy, his eyes sharpen. There's the sound of a stopwatch shattering somewhere. The cold barrel of the gun meets her head, and she feels this whisper pass through her mind. And for a moment, it's probably like the world's worst acid trip of watching 100 versions of her collapse into itself. Then she blinks her eyes, her mind is clear, and Stray has already put the gun away. And he goes, whoa, 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 no need to run. No need to run.
She immediate sobbing. Immediate sobbing.
Yeah.
And the 2 girls, like, at the bottom, like, kind of tendering Panda, look up, and they're like,
I'm so sorry.
we told you needed help.
I've got my brother. You should console her. You should console her.
Yeah, you can't keep doing this. And
Stray walks over to Panna and picks up and goes, "Thanks for the distraction."
No problem.
Stray looks a little exhausted.
No doubt. The ghoul is curled up in a ball, mindlessly weeping.
You should go talk to her. That's your skill. I'll send a message to Gaslight. And while Panna goes to talk to the ghoul, Gaslight, you're gonna get Jamie's gonna get a message that just says, "Folks, led us back to an addict. I did what I do best." Panna or HB is speaking to them.
So Jamie goes to the nearest ATM to start withdrawing a lot of cash because Jamie has assumed that Stray Cat has just killed 12 people and they're going to have to bribe a bunch of cops.
Yeah. Perfect. Excellent. 0 notes.
It's like one card, withdraw 10,000. Next card, withdraw 10,000.
Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. Yeah, she looks like she wants to run, but she's completely defeated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucked.
Do you want want to talk about what happened? I don't know how much you saw, but
And the two girls who were doting over you were like, do you want us to like let you be? Maybe you can talk some sense into her. We haven't been able to talk any sense into her. She's...
it might be good if he looks at her, if you're okay with them leaving the room. Did she?
And they
did
do.
she
They
not?
do leave the room, and she's just
All right,
slumped forward.
My name's Panna. I don't know how much you know about what happened to you. I don't know how much is safe to say, but we're trying to get to the bottom of the ones responsible for it.
You don't have to explain anything to me.
Okay. Well, so in that case, you should probably know that we go around hunting those who did that to you.
We're
Those
the
creatures.
boogeymen I'm sure you've heard so much about. The big bad government men in suits.
I know. Rory talked about you frequently. His mother more
Oh my
frequently
goodness.
still.
We are famous, kid. We made it to the inner cycle of gossip.
Wait, us specifically?
Yes. I mean, many, but yes, you were mentioned. You're from Florida.
Oh, damn. They knew us. Our exploits traveled far. Stray is trying to make light of the situation, but there is a deep, driven undertone that he knows exactly where this line of conversation is heading. He turns and he goes, I'll let you two speak, but it seems that we made more of an impact on dearest mother than we initially thought.
Oh. Oh, shit. Well, how, I should probably start by asking how long you've known? How long you've been under their control?
I met Rory in 1979. 70s were
Sorry, did you say 1979?
1979.
That's kind of widen at that.
I know, surprising. Because, you know, I look like I look. I'm 63 years old.
Oh.
I've been with them over 40 years.
Hannah suddenly realizes this is a rough situation because getting someone like this off the blood
Yes.
is going to be difficult.
He told me.
Well,
he always told me that I would be granted the embrace. That's how he got me into it. That yes, you're a bit of the bottom of the food chain for a while, but it's just temporary. Just temporary until the family gets to know you. Just temporary until the mother approves. And one day I would be granted that sort of eternity too. One day I would be his childer. And it was never the right time. There was always a reason. We had to extract his mother from Edinburgh. The political climate wasn't correct. He had to attend to other matters, Camarilla politics. It was too turbulent at the time. It was too dangerous. The food supply wouldn't support another kindred in the family. He still needed to get approval.
he kind of narrows his eyes at the food supply being named like that. So it's something you wanted then?
Yes. It's something I wanted. To be young and beautiful and powerful. Like them. Yes, it's something that I wanted. And living among them, as long as I have, in the state that they've kept me, I damn sure wanted that. It's why I agreed to this shit. In the first place, was the promise that was forever dangled over my head. That this was so temporary. And if I just hung in there a few months longer, a few years longer, and put up with it a few months longer, a few years longer, I would have that gift shared with me too. I would be one of the roses. I would live forever. That's what they told me.
Eye is twitching.
That's what they told me.
So...
And he's gone now. I can't... I can't bond with anyone else, even if there was any kindred in the city that would be willing. God only knows how they would treat me. The mother, certainly not. But that's why I'm here. The promise. And you know, when he disappeared, when they took him, I got a chance to mention it to the mother. In passing, because she was so fucking enraged. I got a chance to mention it to the mother, to work it into conversation. That with Rory gone, I was going to need somebody to refresh my bond, or I was going to need to finally take the embrace, like they'd discussed for so many decades. And she laughed in my face. She had no idea what I was talking about. He never asked her. He never brought the subject up. He never asked his mother's permission. I was never going to be anything other than what I am. I've spent my entire life waiting for my life to begin. My wonderful kindred life as one of those beautiful, unthinkably beautiful creatures, waiting for that life to begin, and it's over. My life is over. When this bond works its way out of my system, I'm just going to be another dusty old woman in the twilight of her years. I'll have what, maybe 20 years left, 30 if I'm lucky, with fucking with gray hair, sagging tits, and no cartilage in my knees. So fucking stupid.
You're pretty pathetic, you know that. You spent your entire life waiting for it to begin by drinking their blood and doing who knows what they asked of you to do. And you see the fact that you're now free from them as basically the end of your life. Do you not care the amount of people they hurt? The fact that they took advantage of you by luring you in with those promises?
I cared at first. But they have a way of getting in your head. And I let them. I let them get in my head. They have a way of getting in your head. That you're special. They're special. Whatever they do to their others is justifiable. Because they're just kind. If you kill 100 of them, give it 20 years, they'll create 100 more. That's the truth that I lived. That's the truth that I lived. And I bought into it. I bought into it. Because I was so sure that any year now was going to be the year that I was allowed within their ranks. And I was going to be one of the special ones.
And if you got the chance to be, I'm sure you jump at that still.
Hell yeah.
The most terrible thing that monsters do is convince their greatest victims that they did them a favor. Normally, I'm the nice one. I'll be lucky to get 30 years on this earth. And you're complaining about getting 30 more. I understand. Must suck. I know what it's like to lose the most important years of your life to the machinations of monsters. My brother does too. Let me ask you something. Let me really ask you something. Did it all lead up to this? Because you did have a choice. You still do. You can spend probably the next 2, 3, 4 weeks before the blood starts catching up with you doing something, making the most of it. Or you can do what you've spent your whole life doing, put your fingers in their muck, and hope that they smile at you. You're sitting here telling me that you wasted the best years of your life, and now you've been given a chance for freedom, and you're still complaining that they wasted the best years of your life. Your life is your own right now. The only one wasting time is you.
I was supposed to live forever.
No one. Nothing. Not a single person lasts forever. Every single leech I've killed, you know how many times their last words are, "You can't kill me. I'm gonna live forever." Vampires aren't even immortal. They just don't die of old ages. You know what a fucking vampire is? A lobster. Lobsters are immortal too. Until they can't molt out of their shell anymore and they suffocate to death in their own body. That's what the beast does to you. You wasted your whole life trying to become a goddamn lobster. And I have sympathy for you. More than my brother does. Because I get it. I'd probably have made the same choice you did if I was in your shoes. And it's a real moral grandstanding of me to sit here and judge you. I didn't live your life. The question is what you want to do next. As far as I see it, you got 3 options. You can get sad, you can get angry, or you can get even. They promised you immortality and took it away. I think a good justice is taking their forever away from them. Before you go, you'll get to see them go first. I'm not normally one for vengeance, but I do love me some poetic justice.
I'll tell you what I know.
Stray takes out an old recorder and places it on the table and says,
Yeah, so Gaslight arrives with what appears to be a small satchel bag. Inside are the contents of what they presume are the bribes they'll need to pay.
I'm going to say that you probably alerted the girls that Gaslight is going to arrive.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so they're like
we have an expert.
yeah, they like guess you pull up and they give you that look, like that junior high girl look that you're probably very used to, of like, oh, as long as this bitch is on premises, no one's going to give me the fucking time of day. And they direct you, downstairs.
Yeah.
Your friends
meets
are waiting.
you in the hallway and just kind of is. So I did what I did best. It was a little messy, but the blood bond was broken.
Okay, how many cops do we need to bribe? And Jamie opens up the satchel bag, and there's like multiple stacks of at least 10 grand in there.
Jesus, that's more money than Stray has ever seen in his entire life. And he looks at Ace just like,
oh my god. Yeah, Pan is also shocked by that.
I assumed you had shot somebody, and I was going to have to bribe someone to say they didn't see you.
I mean, I metaphorically shot someone, but no one saw me pull the gun out.
Jesus, alright, so what happened? Blood bond broken. Need a little bit more.
Yeah, alright. Kid, do you want to summarize, or should I?
Panna is still trembling in rage.
Okay, kid's got the white hot rage, I got it. We've got a 60-ish year old ghoul in the back room. Drawn along by the nose on the promise of the embrace and eternal youth. She's probably only got a couple more weeks left before the bond kicks it. She is toxic to all the others in the city. Our good friend from the rising sun is to the ground and in the air. We're about to get everything we know. And while she has no moral compunctions about the time she spent and the promise of the embrace, we were able to sway her over to our side with the age-old, if you can't get what you want, you get even. This might just be our chance to take out some immortals who really deserve it.
Okay, I'm completely on board.
Alright. She's about to tell us everything, so that's going to be where your area of expertise kicks in.
Alright.
With that, Stray will lead Gaslight.
Panna will enter for insight purposes, but Panna's not like this woman.
There was a major change in Rory's demeanor, in his entire personality. It had happened about 5-6 weeks ago. It was like night and day. He was himself, and then one night he looked like he'd seen a ghost. He was he looked pale, even for him. He looked scared all the time. He was just anxious all the time. Could barely form sentences. He just looked terrified, and he wouldn't, converse with anyone. He didn't want to go out. He's usually a social butterfly or whatever he is, but he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave his room. I could hear bits and pieces of his mother screaming at him through closed doors behind closed doors a couple of times, but I didn't know that he was either crying or he couldn't speak at all. And then one night, it was a normal night, or it seemed, and then there was just this massive crash. It sounded like an explosion, and the doors came down, and there were just these swarms of people in black that they raided. They raided the club, and they tore the place apart, looking for him. They didn't find him. I don't know how he escaped, but they didn't find him. They didn't leave with him. I heard Dulcinea just screaming, just tearing them apart, verbally as best she could. And usually she's pretty intimidating, but this time it got nowhere with her. And they were asking, "Where is he? Where are you keeping him? We know that he's here. We know that he's in this building." And she asked, "Why are you here? What are you doing here?" Something that he had fallen into the hands of, that he had lost it to the kind. That they knew that he had lost. Oh, I don't even know what it was. It was the strangest name. But they said that they knew that he had lost this item. And if it fell into the hands of the Second Inquisition, it was a serious masquerade breach. The Camarilla might even get involved with the city, and there may be no way to stop them. And that they were taking him into custody for questioning immediately. And she swore that he'd done no such thing. She swore that she wasn't hiding him, that he wasn't in the building. They weren't able to find him. They shut down the club. They took her for questioning. They didn't take her into custody, but they questioned her in her fucking apartments or wherever on the top floor. It lasted all night. But Rory was gone. And they've sent agents over the city trying to find him. She tore through the staff like a field of locusts, just trying to figure how this information got out. And most of us didn't know. Like, we didn't know what items Rory had on his person. So how could we know what had been lost? No, she was unreasonable. She was crazed about it because when they find him, they were going to kill him. Of course, I didn't want to come to her about my bond, but what else was I going to do with him gone? So I came to her one evening to try to discuss the matter of my bond and how we were going to refresh it. And I heard, because she's not that quiet when she gets angry, and she was really furiously angry. I heard a communication between her and it sounded like him, about how we needed to stay put, see this through. She would try to find some way to smuggle him out of the city, but not to move. At any cost, not to move. He said that his food supplies were getting low. Things were getting desperate. He couldn't keep milking what he had or what he was able to capture in his current state forever. She said she would try to send more, but that she was being monitored so heavily, and the location, where she was at was being monitored so heavily that it could be difficult to send any further reinforcements, and his best option may be to torpor himself, and he lost his fucking shit when she suggested that. She's planning negotiations with the other barons in the city. They're going to try to negotiate some terms for either him giving himself up or not giving himself up. I don't imagine... I imagine that's just going to be a bloodbath. Because they want his head, and she's going to do whatever she has to protect her precious fucking baby. But it was around that time that I heard that there was never any intention for me to become one of them. And I heard her making plans for what reinforcement she was going to try to bring to this negotiation on the matter of her childer. And I was able to extract myself because I figured that I wasn't going to... My survival wasn't going to be a priority. And however she was planning to use me, there were no plans to reuse me after that negotiation is done. So that's what I know. There was he lost an item. He let something get stolen from him. And I don't know how the barons of the city caught word of it. I know that they, in the Cosmopolitan, they tried to hide it, but somebody leaked that information. I don't know who. That's what I know.
Well, I'm reasonably certain one of the barons is a contact I'll need to suss out. I want to thank you for giving me that information, and Jamie will give them just straight up. That's a stack of 10 grand.
Thanks, though. She takes it. She pockets it. Thanks.
Nothing. Thank you for telling me all of that. It helps to fill in some gaps that happened after past events. I have an idea where Rory might be. I'll need to look into that lead, though.
Kick him in the fucking shins for me. If you see.
Will do.
Thanks.
Panna looks concerned at allowing her to meet back up with him.
Oh yeah, Stray sees that he just sort of shakes his head and gives that she's not meeting with him directly. Stray cracks his neck and he just kind of go, I really am sorry what happened to you. Even if I think, regardless of how I think about the why, it's a terrible thing to lose that much of yourself.
Thank you.
I truly hope you find peace.
Thank you.
I might just be a deranged man who fights things that he absolutely has no chance of beating. But I know it's very scary to think about what happens next. But you're finally going to meet yourself. The blood, it doesn't make you you. It sounds like you spent more of your life being whatever the blood made you. The nature of what I did to you means I have to believe that there's more to this world than just the here and now. If it brings you any peace and comfort, perhaps you've spared yourself a far worse fate down the road.
Considering what they feel like they're gonna do to him when they catch him. Maybe.
Yeah, it's really funny how many people spend their whole lives hoping to become one of the damned. And every single member of the damned I meet, first thing they say to me, if it isn't, "Die, Hunter," it's some variation of, "You don't know how good you have it." The grass really is just always greener on the other side.
Guess I'll find out.
Stray jots down a number on the back of like a random pizza joints business card and hands it to her.
She takes it.
And if you ever just need someone to talk to,
I might take you up on that.
no matter how much, no matter what I feel, what makes people into monsters is when you're at your lowest low and you don't think anyone's there to help you. That's what I think makes people finally believe that the world is only them versus everyone else. All right, I've exhausted my social battery for the night. I'm gonna go get some burgers. And Stray just walks out. He's done. That's enough socialization for him. And he's just gonna go sit outside and sulk for a little bit.
Hannah looks to her and says, "It seemed like those two girls were really worried about you. Be good to them." And then he'll walk out after Stray. He won't say you don't deserve their worry. He keeps that inside.
Take care of yourself, all right?
You too. Thanks.
And Jamie will walk outside and immediately go, "Yeah, that was awkward."
Stray's on the curb rubbing his temples, and he just goes, "Imagine infinite possibilities stretching out before you and choosing time and time again to seek stagnation forever."
Yeah.
Oh, I was more thinking about how I definitely ruined the life that she had, but
I don't think what you did was ruining. She'll never thank us for it, but we saved her, what little might be left.
maybe. So, got in the dark. Maybe the person trying to solicit me is Rory.
Yeah,
I did kind of get them real obsessive about me, hoodwinked them, scampered off into the middle of the night with a bunch of their valuable shit. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of people that all look like me start going missing.
That would make sense.
Yeah, the timeline's all aligning. Well, he turns to Pan and he says, "Thanks for keeping your head in there, kid."
Yeah. I can't stand people like that. They're almost worse than the monsters themselves because they're the ones who want to become like that and will jump at any chance to.
It's all
At least
cost.
At least some
Especially
of
when
the
you get that
monsters.
old. I'm sorry, kid.
No, what were you saying? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I get it. In a way, it's not anywhere close to the exact same, but no one just becomes a hunter for 5 years. Once you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. These people need to believe that it was all worth it in the end.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the old ones. Even if you save them, they don't tend to appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a question. Who are we to decide how they die? But I think a life on the blood is no life at all.
Likewise.
And if we're destroying the source and the source is hurting other people, well, they made their choices.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Agreed.
God, ghouls are just the fucking worst.
They really are.
Can't stand that shit. Always gets me thinking philosophical. None of that. I'm gonna go get you a Beyond Beef burger. I'm gonna get a double with cheese. Gas, you want anything?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I'm just I'm probably going to spend the entire ride over there thinking of slurs for ghouls.
Great. Did you bring your own car, or he gestures to the back of his of his electric bicycle?
I brought my own car. You can just shove the bike in the back.
That works for me.
Before you go,
Drive off and get some food.
Hannah, one of the girls approaches you, not one of the two that initially did. And she hands you a slip of paper with a number on it. Hey, I've got a friend of mine who would like to meet you.
Oh? Oh, no. No, Panna just said, oh, like he's curious.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive work. You'll like him, trust me.
All right. He takes the paper.
And
Great,
when
it's like
she is
peeks his
assured
head
that
over the
she got
window.
the paper, she'll go about her business.
What'd you get, kid?
He looks down.
It's a regular old scrap of paper. It's got a phone number on it.
Phone number.
Yeah, that's a phone number.
Should we wait till we're back to call it?
I mean, it's probably safer to call it here, not back in
True.
the face.
He nods and he'll call the number.
There is a lady on the line who answers. And
Hello?
who may I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Panna?
All right. We have this First Light has eyes in many different locations. And there are many different factions. My boss has taken notice, and you've gotten some recommendations from some of the people that you've associated with tonight. He would like to meet you. He'd like to arrange a meeting with you face to face.
Oh,
in whatever environment,
okay.
During the day, of course. He has kind of a high profile, so we can't go too public with it. It'll have to be on the down low. But no, he's been following your works in Sarasota, and he'd like to meet you.
His eyes kind of widen at that, and he's like, I would. Can my cellmates come, or does he want
Of
it
course.
to be?
No, he would love to meet your cellmates as well.
Okay.
All right, I'll arrange a meeting. He has a private suite at the Aria. It is one of the casinos that is human owned, and so you get an address at the Aria, and you are greeted by a absolutely lovely young lady who knows precisely who you are and says, "Hey, I am so happy that you answered the call. Got kind of a special place in his heart for you. I'll take you up to a suite.
All right.
It's a private suite. It is incredibly lavish. So our agents, we have agents in all manners. Some people maintain low profiles, some people maintain high profiles. I mean, sometimes when you're in work like this, like the easiest way to hide is to be in plain sight. So some of us do have a fairly high profile, and he is fairly well known to the public. So she comes in and she raps on the door. It says, "Come in." You open the door, and before you sits a just devastatingly gorgeous man in his, middle-aged, I'd say. He's wearing like a white button-down shirt. He's got sunglasses on. He's got kind of an angular face, perfect smooth complexion, and it's got that kind of swarthy complexion that betrays Hispanic heritage. But his eyes are the piercing blue, like as blue as the summer skies. Just a gorgeous human being. Clean shaven on the face, clean shaven on the head. He turns around and he greets you with a warm smile, like he's known you forever. "Hannah, I've been following your career for a very long time," says your new mentor in the Second Inquisition, Agent Armando Cristian Perez, better known to the world by his alias, Mr. Worldwide.
Wait!
Pitbull.
Wait, it's fucking Pitbull!
Sits before you. Hannah, I'm incredibly impressed, not only by the work that you've done in Sarasota. As you know, a fellow Floridian myself. I have a very strong connection and a strong love for that state. Your generosity, your empathy that I've heard of from my own agents and associates, beautiful as they are. I've been wanting to work with you for a very long time, and the fact that you were able to find one of these creatures in the night, we couldn't track them at all. I am very, very happy, very blessed to have this sort of association with you. I am. You can call me Armando. They call me Agent Perez.
Armando?
Formalities. Yes. Armando, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. I didn't realize that. I'm surprised that I hadn't noticed you were watching me sooner.
Well, it's me and my associates. We all work as a team here. But no, we know the work that you've done in Sarasota, and of course, I've been in communication with Agent Xerion and others who've spoken incredibly highly of you. And you obviously, I mean, some people they get into this for some sort of prestige, and it just becomes a job for them or a bragging right. But no, you've shown that you're in this business for the right reasons, and you've shown
I really am
enormous promise, and I am very privileged to finally have the opportunity to work with you. I've been hoping.
Well, I'm so glad. So true. I'm so glad to be able to work with you also.
Going to make me blush. Incredibly impressive work that you did, fleshing out the agent, the ghoul, I think we call. Among them, I wasn't aware. We were aware there was something, but no, she was hiding among the entire population.
You
guys gonna make me fucking blush.
keep keep hunting them down, keep keeping people safe.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm doing this.
I know it's personal. It's personal for me too. Nobody gets into any of this. Nobody would get into any of this unless they were pushed into it.
Yeah.
So, in a way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're here. I'm sorry that we're all here. But I hope for a world where we won't be necessary.
Likewise.
I want you to know you can come to me anytime. You have a friend in me. You have a friend in my associates. What you're chasing?
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for helping me create the world that I want to raise my children in. My children's children. They're getting so big.
You have children?
I had 6.
Oh, because I kind of widened and surprised at that.
I've got a big family.
That's
the dream. A beautiful family. I had 6, but it is unfortunately
they take them?
2.
Oh, did they take them from you? Those monsters?
2. I couldn't be near them. I couldn't be near their mother, and I thought because I was with this agency that I was keeping them safe by keeping my distance. But that they would never trace. They would never trace Gabriella and Raphael back to me.
Yeah.
They're sneakier than they look. I lost my 2 babies.
I'm sorry.
Me too. One I was able to lay to rest. Gabriella, she's still out in the world somewhere. I hope one day I can lay her soul to rest too.
Is she?
Yes.
One of them?
They will do spiteful things like that. I have 4 living ones. I have 4 living children. They are my joy. I have them to bring me peace and to give me a world to fight for. Don't feel too sorry for me.
That we are.
Tell me about what you're chasing.
Do you mean what I'm chasing and why I'm doing this?
What your quarry is currently, though.
Oh.
Certainly I would love to hear about everything that motivates you. But
our current quarry
I would love to help in any way I can.
Thank you. He kind of looks to Jamie because I believe Jamie would have the most information on their current quarry, but would say, we're currently going after... You've probably seen the disappearances that have been happening and the fact that they're all very similar to my cellmate here. And we're going after...
My associates have been talking, and we have noticed, yes.
Any info you have on that quarry could be helpful. We have a name. The name is Rory Franco. Their clan is the Toreador, the Roses. I know that Gaslight here had been getting close to them, and that they had a weapon of the Second Inquisition's in their possession. We know that they were part of a whole hive of them, and we know now that they're most likely the one behind all these disappearances happening.
What can I do to help?
I don't suppose if there's any... I guess we're trying to track them down right now, so I don't know if there's any information you could have on, their whereabouts, where he was last spotted, anything like that.
Give me a couple of days. Days. I know I can come up with something. I'll be in contact with you.
Thank you.
Oh, no. Thank you. Thank you for making the sacrifices that you do to create a better world for the rest. I know it's not easy.
It's not, but it's gotta be done.
It does. I will be back with you within the next 48 hours. With something, that I promise.
Thank you.
Can I offer you something to drink?
What kind of soda?
Any kind of soda. Any kind of soda.
Hannah wants one of those Shirley Temples.
He gets a Shirley Temple.
Yay.